Well, what do you do for a living?
I'm a grip.
And what's that?
I work in the film industry. I work on production on the set, and I help to facilitate the production going smoothly. I deal primarily with the camera department and the electrical department. And my role as a grip is to, we have three basic roles. The first one is camera movement and safety.
What does that mean? Is you like lay the track down for the camera to track on?
Sure. Well, if there's a dolly, which is also something a grip would operate, it's a little mobile unit that the camera sits on. If there's a dolly involved, we will lay out the track and level the track or support it. However, if we need to build platforms, then we'll build platforms.
How many of you are there on a production?
It varies on the size of the film. Typically, there's probably 5 to 10 set grips, which are constantly on the set, and then probably 5 to 10 rigging grips, which go ahead of the production and build out, whatever rigging's required for the lighting or for the camera.
So they're before the shoot starts, and you're during the shoot.
Yeah, there's two different types of grips. There's rigging grips and there's set grips. The rigging grips will go ahead of the production and prepare the next location, and the set grips stay on the set and do the shading and kind of make sure everything comes together as it's supposed to.
Who do you report to?
Our boss, our immediate bosses. I guess the chain of command goes the DP, which he's the cinematographer.
DP stands for?
Director of Photography. He essentially sets up the style of the film, whether the lighting needs to be cool or warm or whatever the feel for the film is. Like Saving Private Ryan's a very cold kind of shot film, so the DP comes up with the lighting design for the film. And then from there goes there's the gaffer, which is the head electrician, and he's in charge of the electricians, which are essentially the same thing as grips, but they don't do all the rigging that we do. And then the head grip is the key grip, and from the key grip, so it goes the DP to the key grip to the best boy grip to the
best boy grip.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
It's like his number one guy. It's his second in command essentially.
Okay.
To the thirds. So typically there'll be maybe 7 to 8 third grips who just implement everything that the key grip decides, and the best boy grip is in charge of getting logistical stuff together, making sure that we have whatever equipment we need on whatever day, doing the hours, making sure he's kind of like he's connected to the production side of it. He ensures that everybody has their paperwork done, all the any kind of paperwork related stuff is handled for the key grip, and he also handles hiring and stuff like that.
And these are all union people?
Yeah, everyone's union.
So
how much your day rate is?
It varies. Commercials is $550 to $650 a day for 10 hours, and features is
$550 to $650 for a day.
And features is starts out at $24 an hour, and after 8 hours it goes up to $45 an hour, and then after 12 hours it goes up to 60 some odd dollars an hour. And then there's other things, like after they have to feed us every 6 hours, or we get a meal penalty every 30 minutes until we get fed. So like last night I was working on Friday Night Lights, and they don't feed us for whatever reason, so which is fine with me.
Because it's universal.
Yeah. So we get like I got 8 meal penalties last night, which is somewhere around $100 just for. But they still have to feed you. They just don't break you to sit down.
Yeah.
So you get a walking meal, which is fine with me. I don't care.
So is it? I got the feeling there's a lot of sitting around and waiting, or are you the one they're waiting for?
No, I mean it can go either way. It depends on the film. Typically, if you have a good key grip who has a lot of experience, and the thirds have experience, you stay ahead of you can anticipate what they require, and then you can sit down and do very little. There's bursts of working hard, and then you may not do anything for 2 or 3 hours.
You sit down while they're filming what
Right.
you've set up.
Right.
And then when they finish, you
And
go
we
into
have to
action
rush
again.
to-
Yeah.
sure. And as long as the keys and the DPs and as long as the company as a whole is professional, has experience, it runs smoothly. If they're not, then it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And you end up working constantly.
Tell us about the project you worked on last night.
Last night I worked on Friday Night Lights, which is it's a football series. It's bad. I don't know. I think it's NBC who it's on.
It's bad?
And it's bad that I don't know who.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
I think it's NBC. Yeah.
Okay.
But essentially, it's it's like, I guess it's a coming of age show about football players and their struggle.
In high school.
Yeah. So
is this a half-hour show?
I think it's probably a full hour.
Okay. How long did it take to film it?
Well, Friday Night Lights is an interesting film because they use 3 cameras at once. In a typical film setup, you'll have 1 camera, maybe 2 cameras, and you shoot the primary angle, and then you do the turnaround and shoot the opposing person who's talking angle. With Friday Night Lights, they use multiple cameras at the same time and shift the angles a little bit, so they can do a whole entire scene in, in one take, essentially, or maybe 1 or 2 takes. They don't have to change the setup.
Yeah.
So more complicated setup.
It's vastly more complicated.
Do the lighting for that?
Yeah. With Friday Night Lights, I guess the style is kind of edgy. Do a lot of Steadicam or handheld. The look of, also a lot of films are going now to video, which is more difficult to correct the lighting. Film, you can do a lot more with lighting correction in post. So Friday Night Lights is interesting because it's all done and still done in film. So they can work with the lighting a lot more. It doesn't require as much lighting, and the style is grainy, and they just kind of go with it.
Well, did you shoot that whole 1-hour segment in one work day?
Well, we did 3 episodes of football in one day.
Wow.
And then tomorrow we'll probably do another 3 episodes of football. So throughout the show, they cut to football games, and we did 3 football games that night. And they have, the extras will just switch the uniforms and move people around a little bit, and then it's a different game and change the signs up. I don't really enjoy Friday Night Lights because I'm not a big football person.
So you've worked on this before?
Yeah, it's one of my regular jobs.
Oh.
Is Friday Night Lights. And then in between Friday Night Lights, I'll jump on whatever, features or commercials are available.
And you did a really high-profile one here recently, right?
Yeah, I worked on the last feature I worked on was True Grit, which is going to be coming out in December, I think, with Matt Damon and Jeff Bridges. And that was really a great film to work on. Roger Deakins was the DP, and he's been nominated for Academy Awards 9 times. So that was really cool to see somebody that
really knows his stuff.
Yeah, very professional, very experienced, and get to work with somebody like that. And that was impressive to see because he does things totally different than a typical DP does. Everything he does is very big. When they were in New Mexico, they did. They had 50 20K lights, which is, a 20K light is probably that big around. You can, essentially, 5 of them are brighter than the sun. So he had 20 of them going around a canyon, and the rigging for that required that, they build straight off of the canyon. And so that was really cool to get to what people did. On True Grit, it was a great experience to work with Roger Deakins. He's very talented. And the Coen brothers, I've always liked the Coen brothers films, so it was fun to be part of something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I'm really not interested in, it just becomes doing the job and not being part of something bigger that is exciting.